Hey there, and welcome some Battlefield 4 multiplayer game. This is Domination on the Rogue transmission, as you can see here, and I'm using the ACW-R. I just acquired this gun the match before, and I really liked it. And I now have some attachments for it, but the gun, even without attachments, is extremely good. It has a very high fire rate, and it's very powerful, so definitely love this gun. I actually always kind of liked the ACW-R, even in Battlefield 3. It wasn't my favorite, but you can see here it's really high fire rate. It's a great gun, but also really great firing out of the hip, as you can see. And what I also have finally acquired are some claymores. One of my favorites. I was always getting a ton of kills with claymores in Battlefield 3. I always loved claymores. I love claymores in Call of Duty a lot too. I think it's just an amazing tool if you want to make sure that you don't get somebody flanking you, coming up the stairs when you're in a house somewhere. It just gives you like this extra security, and even if they don't die, it's kind of like a little bit of an alarm. You know, if it goes off, you're like, like, oh, somebody just tried to come up the stairs. You can turn around in time and get them. But I still have the issue while I was recording this with very slow turning, and especially turning to the left. My character just seems to be like stuck in mud. And first I thought it was like an issue with the beta. When I played the beta, it's the first time I noticed that. I just couldn't turn, and I was turning up my sensitivity to like, I don't know, 60, 70, like insanely high, and it didn't make a difference. And I thought that was just really weird. And I was like, oh, I'm so hoping that they fix that for the actual real game when the real game comes out. And now I'm in the real game and I have still the same issue. I mean, there's a lot of issues that they fixed that were in the beta that's not in this game. But I still have this issue when I try to turn to the left a lot of times. Not every time, but the character just doesn't turn, and I have to really force my left thumbstick like crazy to the left. And even then, it just turns really slow. And I got shot many times just because I couldn't turn fast enough. So I did some research, and I just found out that's basically when your controller just gets really worn out. And it's kind of bums me out because I have like a special edition controller. It's like a silver controller. I really liked it. Liked the way it looked and all that, and I don't feel like spending that kind of cash again for a new controller. So I'm probably just going to go and buy just a straightforward 360 controller for, a little bit under $40, but I hope that's worth it and it's not going to get worn out that fast again. So this map is Rogue Transmission, and not really my favorite map, but I have to say Domination is really just a great game mode. I've always been a huge fan of Domination. That's like almost all I played in Call of Duty. Very rarely played Team Deathmatch or any of the other modes, and Domination is just this nice combination of Team Deathmatch and getting the flag or capturing the flags, and I just love that. It's not just one or the other. It's just really great, and it's very fast paced. It's very intense. I was very disappointed when I started this game, like the first day, when the day came out. Actually, not the day came out, I played the single player first, but the next day, when I tried the multiplayer for the first time, I was not able to get into any Domination matches at all. I don't know what, it just basically, well, I got in, but it was like 0 players every time, and I was like, I'm the only player on the map, so there's no point to even... I could have waited forever for the server to fill up, and I don't even know if that would have happened, but I just don't have that kind of patience when it comes to games. I want to get in and get into the action right away, and that's probably one of the reasons I'm not really interested in the game mode Diffuse, because you basically have one life, and the chance that you die at least once is pretty high. So, I tried it out, and I didn't know you have only one life, and of course I died like the first, 2 minutes, and then I had to sit through the rest of the match, which is extremely boring, and I don't know why anyone would want to play that. Because, you know, I mean, you must be very, very self-confident or an excellent gamer to actually kind of just survive long or to actually enjoy the game and not just having to sit through the game. I never understood why they make a game where you only have one life, because it's just, I don't see anything more boring than that. But anyway, everyone has their own little preferences. So now to my review about this multiplayer. So Battlefield 4 comes with 4 maps, or it starts with 4 maps. We'll get a lot more maps. You know, I've already signed up for the premium, which is like a must if you're a big Battlefield fan. But it comes with 10 maps, and they're mostly good maps, but for me, the maps just don't seem to be any more exciting or any better than in Battlefield 3, and also I don't find the graphic quality any better. And yes, I'm playing on a 360 and on an Xbox One, but that's basically just an excuse from DICE. When you think about it, yeah, you know, the Xbox One, the graphics will be better. I saw the graphics on Xbox One, and I don't think they're any better. They're maybe a little sharper, but they're not better. At the end, there's still a lot of loss of details. There's just not a lot of details in those maps. When you you know, saw Grand Theft Auto 5 and how much detail they could put into a humongous, huge multiplayer open world map, why can't they put that kind of detail into Battlefield 4? So that to me just doesn't make any sense. It's like this, you know, oh, it's a big game, and you know, we can't put more detail into the graphics because it's going to take up too much space, too much memory. That's just total nonsense. You know, I mean, you can play GTA 5 on a really old Xbox, and it runs it runs without any problems, and the details are all there, and you can hook up with all your friends and everything. I mean, even the hooking up with friends doesn't seem to work right now. It seems to be broken. I was not able to invent friends to this game, no matter how many times I tried and how many different methods I tried. I just was not able to do it. It seems to be broken, and when you go online and you do a search for how can I invite friends to Battlefield 4, there's a million people who ask exactly that question. It just seems to be a common issue right now, and I'm hoping that they fix this or make this simpler. It seems to also be way too complicated. There's too many steps to like how to get a friend into your match, and it was like this in Battlefield 3, and I always thought it was too complicated. It shouldn't be that complicated to do something that's actually the main focus of Battlefield 4, which is playing with your friends. But we'll see what happens. But another thing, there's a lot of issues where, you know, it seems like the same old issues that they had in Battlefield 3 and they have to fix, where the hit detection is off. People are stuck in floors and rocks and buildings. Same old, that you think they would have learned from Battlefield 3 to not have those when the game comes out, but it seems like, you know, they just couldn't fix that. But you can see that claymores seem to work really well. Unfortunately, you only get 1 claymore per life, or you know, I mean, I haven't really figured out yet. When you get the big ammo packs, you can probably refill it, but I think if you set the second claymore, the first one goes away. So far I was only able to really set 1 claymore, but the one thing that's definitely different, and that's awesome, is that you can now, the claymore is actually surviving you. So if you die, your claymore does not go away. The claymore sits there until it explodes, and that's really, really awesome, because sometimes you carefully set the claymore at a strategic spot, and as soon as you set it, you died, and you had to go all the way back there and get it again. And so that's really great. We're defending this spot here, but I don't know, we're not really doing well here. We all enjoy and just get a lot of kills, and we're not really like playing the objective, so that's not really a good thing. And I'm usually big into playing the objective, but I think I had too much fun right now here with my claymores, and play around with my claymores, my grenades, and my newly acquired weapon that I like so much, that I just was like trying to get as many kills as I could and just see how this goes. But usually, I mean, you get a lot of points for capturing the flag, so it's definitely worth it to capture the flag. I was just kind of enjoying to have this amazing position and just take them all out, but as you can see, it's not really helping. So yes, I know I'm bad, so that's not something that will happen much more. You won't see that in many more videos of mine. So while this map is definitely not one of my favorite ones, the ones that are my absolute favorite maps so as of today is Operation Locker, because I've always been a fan of prison movies and prison stories, and it's just, even in the single player, it's amazing when you have to break out of that prison. That reminds me of other games that I liked so much, and I'm so stoked that they have that in the multiplayer. It's just a very, very intense map, especially at the B flag. It's just the biggest battle squad on there, and unfortunately that map just doesn't come up as much as I would like it to. The other great map is Hanai Resort, that I think is a really, really fun map to play at. It's also very, very intense, even though it's like one single building that the whole thing evolves around. But there's several levels, and there's a flag. I've one flag outdoors, which is really great. And then Flood Zone, of course, that's like the people's favorites. So those are the three maps that are my favorites. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.